Hello, fam. So today we're going to be talking about our good old friend anael. Now, one of the things I gotta say is we were asking me to talk about her, and she used to be a great player a while back. So again, if you look at old guys, they're going to tell you how great she is, how you should always have her in back line. The thing is, a lot of great players have come since. There's been some changes to the meta, some changes to the way the game is played, and especially some changes to her A. So it's going to change a lot of her value. And currently, I honestly wouldn't advise using her. And I used to run her in left mid, so I know she isn't actually that bad. Now let's look a bit at her kit. Her ace used to be pretty cool, but now it's honestly really weak because for an ace burst, I gotta say that 32% action speed and 24% reflex is not what I'm awaiting. I'm awaiting much more from an ace burst. I mean, Jiho ace and a single line buff could basically give me that to the entire team. Two Marianne movements are gonna give me that. It's just too weak. Now, active, increase reflex by 60% and decrease the inflicted damage by 70. Pretty much, you're not going to die when you steal. Is there still a chance to die? Really weak. So that's not a big deal. Reflex, I mean, in case you don't kill them, it's pretty good. No issue there. You just have super play, so it's not even that big a deal if you don't instantly kill them. Judgment Day 2, increase the defense and counter attack resistance by 20% of items in the position. So I gotta say right here, this is kind of a problem. It's a contradiction between two of her skill. One is reflex based and one is counter attack resistance based. Now, if we do look at her stats, we're going to notice that vitality is the highest and technique is the second highest. So it's still high enough for you to be able to reflex decently, but it's not even like you can say she's reflex build or damage based because both of them are just not that high of a value. Who kind of is the main problem anael has. Now, if we look, then she has super play, decreased inflicted damage, an extra chance to do a turn. And the problem with this, again, is that this is more something that you would give to a player who can't reflex because basically she gets reflex and then moves a second time and kills the other player. So again, all of this just doesn't seem to match up, was kind of the problem I find with her kit. And I'm really hoping that they do change it in a way it makes more sense. Maybe just changing the Judgment Day 2 skill to maybe Life and Reflex. Just doing that would make her viable in the current meta. Now, Holy Punishment, increased attack power, action speed, and critical rate. Again, this was one of the reasons why she used to be so powerful. This part is, again, fine. The action speed feels really nice and the critical rate feels nice. Now, this is one of the reasons why most of the builds she has are usually going to revolve around critting. The most common build, of course, is known as Light Reflex, Terradox Block, Dark Reflex, and Ardor Light Reflex in the center slot. But again, some other builds have been used. For example, Willa Metatron, Ardor Reflex, Second Ardor Reflex, and Dark Speed. But again, it points out once more the contradiction between reflex and counterattack resistance, who is the problem of anael. Now, on a chain level, Nemesis-wise, they're pretty meh, I'm going to say. If you're in PvE, they might activate. I'm going to say I might use myself, Malcolm, but it's a Nemesis chain, so it's not really going to work. Affection, she has Uriel, she has Ustiel. Ustiel is actually being used more often in Monolite nowadays, so it's not even that bad of a chain, I got to say. Uriel, well, you could use her. Really depends what the hell you're doing. The other two, no, that's just dead. Affection for Michael, I know I have a friend who really loves him. I mean, he can be used. There's nothing wrong against that. And Bell's a legendary, but the problem with Bell is if you're using Bell back of anael, you got two totems not giving survival and you're kind of going to die. So that's why, in a way, it's kind of a double-edged blade. So I wouldn't really recommend that as much. Has a bunch of skins, the usual. I'm going to say I do not like that skin at all. Well, there's a bunch of nicknames she has, but I'm trying to keep this PG-13, so I'm not going to say what they are. But everyone knows pretty much what I'm talking about. So I hope this helps you guys have an understand exactly how she works. But again, until her skill Judgment 2 is changed to something that gives survival and maybe reflex, she's just not going to be viable because her kit doesn't make enough sense and isn't able to really run the way it should be able to run. And compared to most backliners, for example, Magnus, she just can't do anything in comparison. So if this helps you guys understand how to use her, what she's able to do. And if you're looking for replacement for her, Cheetos is always going to be your go-to girl in the light category. Have a good day, guys.